What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is iRacing IndyCar Oval Fixed from Phoenix here tonight. We're doing another live stream here, Monday night, here at local time. Race time in about 15 minutes, so we got a little bit of practice that we'll be dealing with before we get into race time. That way people can filter on into the stream. So at this point, it's just going to be largely just kind of driving around aimlessly, doing circles, all that, yada, yada, yada. And, yeah, just chilling here for another 15 minutes or so before we get into the race. So, there is good news. I think this is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. I think this is going to be a fun track to race on. Although, at the same time, I will say this. I have a feeling it's going to be a caution fest. But the cool thing is we are lifting, and I think we are shifting. I've been shifting. I don't know if everyone else is shifting, but yeah, let's get a couple of laps on the tires or so going into turn 1, maybe even turn 3. Might be worth just a dab of brake. Even in clean air, it still goes away pretty quickly. Although that said, I don't think this is going to be a track where we're going to have multiple grooves or anything like that. I do think this is going to be a very one-line affair, which is not necessarily unexpected. We'll see how that all works out. This track's definitely a good bit different than it was in the DW12 here in iRacing. And that car, turn 3, was pretty much always guaranteed to be flat out unless you were in, really dirty air. But here, even in clean air, fresh tires, you're still riding part throttle. Which I do not mind at all, it's one of those things where with the IndyCar, because it does have so much downforce and it goes that fast and all that stuff, it's not often that you are, lifting, going in the corners on a regular basis outside of once the car's worn off. So I think we are in for a challenging race. Too high there. One thing I am interested to find out is if the dirty air matters in this aero configuration. So again, with the DW12 here in iRacing, the short oval road course aero wasn't really all that bad at all. Now, the speedway wings were absolutely terrible when you got up behind someone, but the short oval wings, not so much. This yellow banana guy should be faster because he has fresh tires. Yeah, there's just no speed up there. See that tracker just go straight left. Really just using a dab of brake though, going into one. This definitely beats running on the apron. Granted, it's been a few years ago, but never forget. Adam, it is 9:05 p.m. here in the Midwest, in the great state of Iowa. Although that guy behind me, just noticed in the rearview mirror there, guy on the apron. I've seen a couple of cars do that, like just kind of nip down. I don't know how in the world they're doing it, because if I do that, it just does not feel productive at all. Yep, Iowa's my my home track, Iowa Speedway, at least in terms of the you know, national level. Go there every year for the IndyCar races. Have a blast. Although I will say, it is probably my favorite oval, but that's not just because it happens to be the closest one to me. Just like the short track speedway thing that they got going on here. Or there. This is Phoenix.
Clear inside.
I'm excited to see IndyCar race anywhere this year. There, I said it. Gotta say, definitely hyped up. Looking forward to the rest of the season now that we've actually finally properly begun. You know, and we don't have another, you know, 3-4 weeks in between. Long Beach next weekend. Should be a heck of a fun race to watch. So about halfway through practice, if you're watching this after the fact, you can skip forward to about 15 minutes into the video. That's when we'll end up joining the race session. Unfortunately for those of you guys watching the live stream, that's not a possibility. And you're stuck watching me just randomly do meaningless left-hand circles for the next 7 minutes or so. And then we'll get into the race where things actually mean something. Front end is definitely getting light there down in turn 1. Grip definitely has gone away.
Can't stop, down low, go high.
Oh, you can't touch the dog right now. Bradley, yeah, you get it?
Okay, where the hell you going? Where the hell you going, dude?
Or else what?
Alright, so we'll make a hot...
Yeah, I don't know how to run around.
Make a hot pit entry here. Cut the heck out of the corner there.
Oh, I see. So there's a penalty for doing it.
Any tips the first
SB Blakely, the race is 9:15 p.m. local time here, so about 5 minutes from now.
slow boat?
And hopefully, I did finally get my paint scheme painted for this car. And I made my little pit box thing there above the war wagon. A hopefully bright enough cyan that will be unique enough that it'll be easy to spot my dudes. Good old iRacing tires. Oh, man. Alright, I think I've done enough laps here. So I'll just go ahead and we'll go back here. You'll watch the car go round and round. So how's it going, stream? How's it going, guys? What do? Hope you all have had a wonderful day. That was almost Rossi-esque. You know, once iRacing gets the animated pit crews for this car, which from what I've heard is probably closer than further away in terms of the hierarchy, at least from what I've heard. Could very well be wrong. Better not be wrong. I don't like it when people lie to me. But I definitely will be wiping out my pit crew. Time and time again. No, RRV, that was just the default paint scheme. Because I got that greenish, tealish color as an accent sort of in there. And the way iRacing's base paint colors, because I just applied it to all the cars at one time, it just gave me that. You know, I guess you're right. The Makita color all over my car, which is kind of weird. It's not an attractive color on the car. It's definitely. What was that? Whoa! We got carnage. We got. Okay, I was like, did that guy randomly just end up flying halfway down the straightaway? Just like, I'm pretty sure this is an F1 paint scheme too. Not this guy, but the guy up ahead. Corner's the other way. Definitely the other way. I like how the engine cover's like, now you see me, now you don't. Now you see me, now you don't. Now you see me, now you don't. Yeah. Good old iRacing. You gotta love that damage model. And do we call this an F1 paint scheme? Speaking of which, let me go ahead and reading paints here, because I have a feeling this guy's got an F1 paint scheme. Because this quite clearly is a Braun-inspired livery. I mean, there's no other reason you run this color combination other than just being like, it's a Braun-inspired livery. Are the wheels highlight or yellow? No, the wheels are just plain old chrome. It's the chromies. Just ignore the guys flying through the air. Alrighty. Is it race time yet? We got 2 minutes to race time. And I gotta say right there, yes. Scrumdiddlyumptious, that booty. Sorry. That was uncalled for. I am objectifying automobiles, and that is not acceptable. That should not be done. Just not right. It's not right to love a car because it's beautiful. Not at all. But it's right to love it because it's freaking awesome. Yes, Evo, I've seen the 919 Evo fitting name there. I've actually been tweeting about it the last couple of days, if you check my Twitter out. But if you don't, I think it's really interesting because, you know, I get into all that sort of goofiness. Like, I think it's absolutely fascinating. I think it's really interesting to think what they possibly could do and what I hope they do. I really want to see them actually do something meaningful, and I think really the most meaningful things that they could do with it would be to take it to the Nürburgring and absolutely obliterate the 611 mark. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, you don't do that, just leave it as is. But, you know, I just feel like it's one of those things where that record has stood for 30 freaking years, and it's not because it's the greatest lap in the history, you know, of what's possible, and it's impossible to go faster in any car, but rather just, you know, the way things have played out because of the track and the safety issue. So I would really like to see him do that, even though I think that is somewhat controversial. The other thing that I'd really like to see would be take it to Pikes Peak. I want to see that thing go up Pikes Peak. They already got the body worked out for it. Like, just do it. It's all fully paved now. You know, just turn them loose. Just turn them loose and let her rip, and easily set like the record for the history of mankind. Although it may not actually be the record because obviously hill climb cars are absolutely freaking nuts, but it would be interesting to see. But really, in terms of the records, like, people are like, oh, they broke the track record at Spa. It's faster than an F1 car. And it's like, yeah, whoop-de-freaking-do. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's cool. It's interesting in the sake that, you know, it is goofy. You know, just going ahead and like, oh, yeah, we'll just crank everything up to 12 and just be done with it, you know. But, like, whatever, you know. So it's faster than an F1 car. You know, it's not running in any rules or regulations or anything like that. So what does it really actually matter how fast the car is? I mean, if you just want to build a car that goes faster than an F1 car, it's not necessarily incredibly difficult to do, you know, for a company like Porsche or, you know, these guys. I mean, obviously for me and you and most of us, yeah, it'd definitely be more than a challenge. But I mean, for them to just go ahead and, you know, yank out some weight, add in a huge wing, crank the power up to like 9,000 and all that, it's like, do something special. And that's not me saying like I hate it, don't like it. I think it, again, I think it is really cool, but it's just like one of those things where track records that actually matter, there's so few of them that are actually left because every series has become so heavily slowed by the rule book that it's just kind of like, once you throw the rule book out the window, of course you set, you know, the lap record. I mean, really, what lap records are there that even are, like, super impressive, you know, actually meaningful, that people actually know? Like, I would say you know, Spa, because F1 changes from every year and all that, you know, it is what it is. You know, Le Mans, I think, actually does have some meaning, but at least with that giant rear wing, I can't see them actually setting a very fast time around there. Or faster in that configuration, but I'd guess they'd probably just make the wing smaller because they're obviously capable of that. But, like, yeah, that'd be something. I could very well see them attempting to run the first 2-minute lap of Le Mans, which is just boggling. And I think that would matter, but, you know, you very well quickly run out of things, I think, that make a splash other than, oh yeah, it's faster than an F1 car, because of course it's faster than an F1 car. No, that's not a way to do it. Alrighty, boys. We're gonna give it a go, qualifying. We are gonna actually qualify here. Wait. What? Huh? Oh, well, about that. I guess my cooldown lap was my actual lap, but I guess I was slower that lap anyways. Dr. Banana Lecter, that's the internal combustion engine, not the whole thing. It's got 1,200 horsepower with the hybrid juice. And of course, they don't have any deployment limits or anything like that, so they can just go just go ham with the boost juice. And they have DRS and all that, and like, yeah, it's impressive to be able to say that sports car, you know, full-size, proper sports car, prototype. It's faster than an F1 car, but you know, give Red Bull and Adrian Newey a couple of weeks and they'd smoke that, just because they're starting from a different base. That said, I definitely would not mind seeing that every track becomes, you know, the Nürburgring with race cars, where everybody's throwing out their fastest lap that they possibly can and just going absolutely freaking psychotic. Bring back Can-Am! Say it with me now, guys. Bring back Can-Am. Yeah! I mean, could you imagine what a current day Can-Am car would be capable of? I mean, the 91730 had 1,300 horsepower-ish, give or take 100 or so. And is just absolutely stupid quick. Like, there was some tweet the other day that I saw that the 91730 had the lap record at Road America for 20 years until it was broken in the early 90s. Like, I mean, you have to think that a modern Can-Am car would just be mental, just absolutely mental. So anyways, we're about ready to get racing here. We're going to be starting probably about mid-pack here, because this race does have a small grid. It did split, obviously, and I think it might have even split 3 times over, which would not necessarily be bad. I forgot how many people were registered, but looks like 18 car grid. So hopefully that means it's going to be a good clean race here. Because with fewer cars out there on track, obviously there's less opportunity for carnage. And, you know, honestly, I think this is going to be a very fun race. And I'm looking forward to it, so I don't want carnage. Although I'm pretty sure if we don't get carnage, I'll be looking for a yellow. And if we do get carnage, I'll be looking for a green, because I'm perpetually off cycle with everything, apparently. You didn't miss much in the last 6-7 minutes. We just qualified, and that's basically it. So you're just getting ready back to actual proper race time here. So we'll go ahead and take that steering offset out here. Cause screw that. Oh hey, I'm turning left all the time. Crap, you gotta turn both ways, you know. You don't want to wear out your wheel asymmetrically, right? Right, guys? And when you're just constantly turning this way, you know, I mean, you're only using, you know, 35 degrees of your steering wheel's rotary encoder or potentiometer or positioning sensor, whatever the heck you got. But, you know, spread that wear. Spread that wear. Oh, actually, it looks like we're going to be starting 9th. We got pipped there at the end, apparently. What do you think of Robert Wickens? Looks like he'll be a consistent threat all year. You know, I'm just gonna say this. He's been really impressive, but I'm not super hyped by him. And by that I mean, he did drive the car a couple of times last year, and it wasn't like he was this guy who set the world on fire in the same way that he's done so far this year. And that's not me saying that, oh, he's going to come back to down to earth and he's going to regress, because I know he's incredibly talented. Yes, he's a rookie, but that's only because he's new to IndyCar. He's got tons of experience racing elsewhere in a, very high-level series. But, like, I just feel like there's going to be that day where he's not on the pace, and it's going to be, how is he going to end up coming out the other side and salvaging. Oh, hey, sweet! I didn't even realize this. I can see the Turbo Man in the rear view mirror. Yes! Just joined, so sorry if you've answered this already. Did you enjoy the Indy race? Sunday is Saturday. But more specifically, do you think it was a win for the new car? It was better than the last couple years of Phoenix. It was definitely much, much, much better. I think there's still an issue to go. And honestly, I would say that race would have been very boring if it wasn't for Rossi just passing everyone. Like, I don't know, whatever he had going on there, whether it is the car setup or his driving style with the track, just absolutely obliterating people. I mean, the guy was a lap down, and he unlapped himself legitimately under green flag conditions, you know? It's the left-hand turn. It's not. Don't turn right. Just go left.
Anthony?
That was something. I don't know what that was, but that was something. I forgot to set the over/under.
Hey Scott, do you mind if I pass you for a minute and then have you tell me how my rear wing is? Because Anthony...
Oh man. Should we pick, guys? I think our tires are worn.
Now open. Catch the 18 car.
But I definitely hope that IndyCar's back next year. This was the final year of the contract that they have. So, it definitely seemed like the attendance was a little bit better than past years. And, hopefully it's a good enough race to get people back out if there is another one. But how much of that is also due to the whole Mario Andretti 25th anniversary of his final win celebration? Because I know that was something IndyCar was hyping up a little bit, so... If this was an IS at Atlanta, he would have pitted. Yeah, because that's Atlanta. Mr. Obese, providing you're talking about St. Pete, that was, I mean, yeah, Rossi dive-bombed the snot out of Wickens, but, I mean, that's racing. Like, it's the last lap. That move is coming the whole time, and... the real shame is the fact that whoever's in charge at St. Pete apparently didn't put the enamel on the runway markings or whatever the heck it was. So everybody was just slipping, sliding, going into turn one, which meant that the best passing opportunity on the track was instead like frickin' an ice rink. I mean, it's bad when Scott Dixon just Takuma Sato's Takuma Sato. That just don't happen. But fun. I did not watch Bahrain for the most part because I woke up late, even though it was like a 10 a.m. start time here locally. I did catch like the last 15 minutes, and it's pretty good. I mean, it was good. I think in general, it was a pretty solid weekend in racing, regardless of what you're a fan of. IndyCar had a great finish. I tuned into NASCAR at the very end. Like, it looked like it was a close finish brewing up, and then Kyle Busch ended up winning.
Going green.
So I don't know if that race was any good, but it seemed like it probably was reasonably decent. Although I did find it very funny that there was fewer cars on the lead lap in the NASCAR race than there was in the IndyCar race, which had 2 cautions. So I'm not sure if the NASCAR race was green the whole time or something, but considering how there's like 50% more cars on track is just like, whoa. And yes, I do think Long Beach is going to be good. Definitely excited to see that, because more IndyCar racing with this new car, man. Always going to be down for that. Okay, why are we going so dang high? We got a guy shortcutting the course. I'll get you a slowdown penalty. Alrighty, come on now. Need to learn to drive again, apparently. Nice of you to give me this nice clean track down here at the bottom there, dude. Yep, just threw it in the wall. True skills.
Outside.
True skills.
Stay low. There's a car on the high side. Clear outside. Outside.
Oh my goodness.
Stay low.
Oh my goodness.
Car on the high side. Clear outside. Outside. Clear outside.
Might have tried to keep it too low there.
You're back in fifth.
Like if we can get low in turn 1 and 2, which is where we want to be, that's definitely going to get us some time. Plus we also, hopefully we'll get some tire wear, spice things up.
Car outside.
Let's make this one here.
Still there. Keep low. Clear.
My goodness. This is going to be difficult here.
Car outside. Clear outside. Outside. Keep low.
And yep, steering's askew.
Clear outside.
Yep, we just got whacked. That's great. Not sure what happened there. Yeah, it definitely felt like a pretty solid whack, and it definitely seems like the wheels turned over more.
The yellow flag is out. Line up, single file. Pit road is closed. Pass the pace car. Catch the 5 car.
Although the car's still drivable, so we're still out here. so we will come in, definitely make a pit stop here. Because we're going to need fuel anyways.
Pit road is now open.
One of iRacing's greatest mysteries, why IndyCar is Class C. It's because nobody ran it when it was Class B or Class A. If you're not familiar with iRacing, take it from someone who's been there a long while, aka me. The license system used to actually mean something. It's entirely pointless now. Because what ended up happening is, way back when, like probably, I think it might even be like 8 or 9 years ago by now, or somewhere around there, they did this thing called Fast Track, which is now the licensing system that they have now, where you can, we will take the optional, where you just get your license up, your safety rating, then you get your minimum participation requirement done and out of the way, and everything's all good to go there, you get your license, yada yada yada. The way it used to work... Oh goodness, there's an F1 paint scheme behind me! But the way it used to work is you had to actually wait a full season to get your license, even though you've completed your minimum participation requirement. And of course you could obviously still do the, you could race up to the next license level, which was supposed to be the way that you could get into the cars that were more to your skill quicker. But what ended up happening back then, obviously iRacing was a much smaller service at the time, there was nobody in the higher class cars because there was just so few people that actually had, you know, an A license, because it took basically a year, regardless of how talented you are, to even get to an A license. So then iRacing did this thing where they did two things at the same time and really screwed everything up, and that was they bumped the license requirements down a lot. You know, if we were to go back to those times, you know, the NASCAR iRacing series would be a Class A series because that's where it should be. It's one of the premier series in iRacing. You know, it's the high level, you know, stock car. The IndyCar back then was a B or A class, if I remember correctly. And, you know, that was how it was, and then they bumped it down to get more participation, and obviously, yes, it worked, but I think they did two things at the same time that fixed the same issue, and in the same time, they created another issue, because if you would have kept the IndyCar at Class A or Class B, you know, whatever it was, and you had Fast Track in it, as it is now, it wouldn't matter. Like, license level doesn't necessarily matter, and I get the feeling that you're kind of getting at that, but I mean, most of these guys that we're racing with, I'm pretty safe in guessing are Class A or Class B drivers who would have been eligible to race in the older car, you know, the older formula for the license level back then. Like, I just don't know what they were doing there. And are you gonna get up here, dude? But yeah, I mean, I could seriously just go into a whole frickin' tirade on iRacing and all the stupid shit they've done over the years. Pardon my French, but please just stay down there.
The yellow flag is out. Line up, single file. Pit road is closed. Let the pace car by.
Oh boy. But like, as far as I'm concerned, like, freaking. See, now you're getting me pissed off here, because you're making me think of these things, and it's just like, makes you realize again how much iRacing doesn't know what the heck they're doing with their own freaking product, because they don't play their own freaking game, because they work on it, and that's that. And then they got these beta testers who really seem to not be particularly great beta testers. You know, they have, I think it's pretty clear. You look around, you hear some things, and you know, it's you definitely hear things. You definitely hear things, and when you see what happens, it's like, yeah, it's probably not far from the truth. Matt, what did you think about no commercials for ESPN F1? Like I mentioned earlier, I didn't watch the F1 race or the whole race, so I didn't realize it was no commercial. But that should, again, another thing, y'all get me fired up here. Like, what is going on? Why is it with racing we got to have like 82,000, commercials here in America when we're watching billboards go around in circles, when the tracks are absolutely littered with advertisement all over the place, when you have a ticker that's got an advertisement within itself? Why is that necessary when I can watch a freaking soccer game and they'll go 45 minutes in between commercials? Like, how is that a thing? Like, I can understand in American football, you take the commercials during the timeouts and, at halftime and all that. Like, it makes sense. It works there. It doesn't really interrupt the game. But when you're talking about racing, like, I just don't understand how the heck that works and how that's the normal thing. And I know you people are saying because capitalism and that's just the way things work. Like, I get it. I ain't no commie. But, you just look at it, it's just like, how is soccer able to do it all the freaking time? And it's not weird. It's nothing special. But yet, in racing, like, we can't get the same thing when, in all likelihood, they probably have very similar viewer bases here in America. And they're probably just as expensive. I imagine, average soccer team probably costs as much as, an average NASCAR team or IndyCar team, something like that. Like, it just, it's madness. It's madness. Like, going back to Pocono, we had that giant Bush sign down in turn 1. Like, I mean, is that not enough of a commercial? Like, come on. Grinds my gears. You know what else grinds my gears? The fact that Flexbox apparently sponsors every freaking car in the history of mankind. Like, I didn't even notice this until, like, last week. But Flexbox and Lucas Oil. Wiccan's car is like peak sponsorship here. Just like, they're just all over the place. You can't find a car that doesn't have a freaking Lucas Oil sticker or a Flexbox sticker. And he's got both. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And 3M. Well, I think 3M, they do the vinyl wraps and all that stuff. Or the vinyl material for the wraps. So, like, it makes sense. But, oh, I'm sure there's someone in NASCAR sponsored by Flexbox. And plus, it grinds my gears. It's like, Flexbox. They should say Empty Box. Like, that should be my sponsorship on the car. What you doing? Well, I definitely got the money for that, right? Got that YouTube money. What is a Flexbox? I actually looked this up once. They make, like, portable sheds, if I remember correctly. And it's like, why are they sponsoring so many freaking race cars? And plus, that just sounds like a terrible name for a product, the Flexbox. Oh, man. Just, Anyways, we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. We still got 64 laps to go. Actually make that 54 laps to go. Can't do math. Starting back in 9th place after a little bit of damage repair. Hopefully we actually have a restart here.
Green flag, green flag. You're in the top 10.
And a little juicy there. Too much wheel in it. So we've gone ahead and we've ended up at the back, hopefully, again. And do that Rossi Mode thing and just pass everything. That'd be great. That would be great. Even nearly clipping the apron there. Oh, big time push there. Big, big push. Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like she's got as much turn as she used to. That might just be because dirty air, but...
Outside. Still there.
Holy moly, that guy was quick out there.
Clear outside.
Hey, we are more damaged than I thought. Maybe we've just been running the entirely wrong line. Well, that didn't work. Oh, hey, it's that one guy that we had the contact with earlier. Hopefully this time we can get by him cleanly and without incident. Ah, hit the apron. Yeah, so far this race has not exactly gone the best here. Long green flag run though. Let's go all the way to the finish. Some of that sweet, sweet tire wear, please.
Car outside. Clear outside.
And he's in the wall. He's trying to blame me on that? Well, I did have voice chat muted, so, I mean, he very well could have tried. I don't know, I don't feel like there was anything to try and blame me with there. Are we really that much slower? He's gonna willpower against Rossi. Yeah, really, like... Will, come on. Like, the guy wasn't even anywhere close to you. Like, it was clear he was coming. He was gonna pass you. Now, see... That was definitely what willpower claimed happened. But that definitely was not what happened in the race. But that definitely just happened. Right there. We just got meatballed, so I'm not sure what window that guy was driving into, because that was not a window at all. So we're done. Get off the wall! No, no, no! See if we can get it back here. We're still in this. No one's finished a race at Phoenix with one wheel up in the air. We can do this again. I like how I like the right front wheel there, how it still like turns. Well, the fact it's even attached in the first place. But.
Attach the paint car.
Now you've done Ed Jones. I didn't do Ed Jones. I just got wrecked. The guy drove right through me. Just like, oh hey, yeah, sorry about that. Just gonna go right through. Just good day, sir. Like,
Okay, we're halfway to the finish.
just boom, just straight through. Yeah, we're gonna take the optional here. We're gonna take the optional. So, too much damage. We're done. All right, boys. We are done. We are toast. We are screwed.
I'm gonna give you guys a tip.
Well, I guess we can go back and. I like how iRacing did this feature where they have the voice chat after the fact. I mean that. You ain't. Yeah, you ain't. No, that just boot me out the way there. Just booting me out of the way. Not anywhere close.
Oh man, sorry man, sorry.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry.
Well, he's taking the blame on that one, so at least that's all good. Anyways, let's go back and take a look at the first one. And then we'll figure out something here. That first incident we had. And plus we can go back see if he tried to blame me on it. Or if I was at fault, but I don't feel like there was a... Where was it? Where did it happen? Probably right about here. I mean... Yeah! Yeah! Alright, this guy tried to blame me, like... I don't know what to tell you. So let's see if he queued up there. I mean, just like you literally have half the track. I'm giving you half the track. It's a good question. What was that all about there?
Matt, hold on about. Oh, Tim, that looked like you came down into it. Alright, thank you.
Oh man,
I'm Liam, I didn't know you were there. God damn it.
I just love how people like will not take any blame for an incident, like to any degree, even when it's like clear that. I mean, from that position, you have to know that at best you're probably looking at a racing incident, and just calling out the other guy, being like, "What was that all about?" You know, it's just like. I mean, just take a look at the replay. And then Jason, you just wrecked yourself, man. You wrecked yourself. But,
Green flag, green flag.
anyways, I don't know. Whatever. What was that all about, Matt? I mean, what was I doing? I guess I guess he needs all the track. That's what I'm learning here. Apparently, you know, I do this 9-15 split, and people need the whole freaking track. Half the track is not good enough. Saw last week some guy wrecked us under the immediate yellow flag there, and this week, guy can't hold his line, and he gets into us. And then we get just flat out punted, but whatever. 2 weeks in a row, just crappy race. But what do we have going on here? Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. We got NASCAR Class B at Bristol. There's not a lot going on here. There's street stocks at Phoenix. Y'all want to do street stocks? Because I sure as hell don't. There's nothing. There's nothing interesting or worth racing going on here. So I just realized something just a second here. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Sorry, I'm talking to myself again. So there's nothing interesting going on here. Nothing interesting worth racing. I feel kind of shitty because honestly, from what I saw, he was holding his line and you moved your line up into him. When you're running the high line, you run up next to the wall, not the middle of the freaking track exiting the corner, unless there's a car there, which there clearly was not a car there. If you're going to go ahead and just randomly change your line in the middle of the corner on corner exit, yeah, it's going to be your fault. That's not how oval racing works, where you just randomly change your line in the middle of the corner and, you know, the guy that you're racing with has to magically adapt. Like, that's... You can't do that. Like, there is absolutely no reason for that. So we'll go ahead and exit out. It's about 10 o'clock. I think that's... Screw it! I'm gonna jump into the 305 sprint car, or winged sprint car, maybe. See what happens. See what happens. We already registered for a session, iRacing would like to tell me. One last race. Really don't want to do this race. Probably shouldn't do a race, but I feel like the races that we've had in Indy Fix just have not gone swimmingly at all, and like it just irks me that get hyped and excited for the stream, and then you know you guys come out here and we get really crap races. Generally don't have that problem, but anyways. I figured something out here, so we're gonna go ahead and play an ad, see how this works, because I don't know how this works, and there's nothing else going on anyway, so you won't be missing anything. So, based on complex criteria, some of your viewers will see an ad. Keep on streaming. Complex criteria. Alrighty, YouTube. Alrighty. So let me know when the ad is over. that is a thing, apparently. I gotta get that YouTube Monet. Oh my goodness, this is a fixed setup series? The hell? iRacing, what are you doing? Where am I going? Where am I going? Oh my goodness, where the hell am I going? First Pocono, now this. Just so you guys know, I've never driven this track with anything other than a Audi R18. Just feel like that's important to note. So I feel like that pretty much says everything you need to know. God, the 305 is so freaking slow. The funny thing is, you're still doing 100 miles an hour on a tiny little track, so I mean, you're not really going slow. But it's just like, compared to like the 410, even the 360, it's just so slow. So I guess my Monday stream nights here are basically going to be the Indy Racing League night, you know? Gotta get the short track sprints on and then drive the IndyCar, because obviously to be an IndyCar driver you have to drive sprint cars. I mean that's what everybody was saying in the 90s, right? I mean, you're not an IndyCar driver until you jumped into a sprint car at Knoxville and Terre Haute and all these tracks, you know, right? Isn't that how it works, guys? The funny thing is, I think we have a better chance of getting into a good, clean race with these guys rather than the car with, you know, 2,000 pounds of downforce on a paved track. Could just be me. Although they did just wreck themselves, or one of them wrecked themselves.
Car inside. Clear inside. Clear inside.
Alright, the session you're registered for is starting. So go ahead and stop right middle of the track, you know, be that guy. Alrighty, on to the race. We've got some sprint cars. Last IndyCar driver that came from dirt open wheel circuit was Brian Clausen, and he wasn't full time. You would be correct. Although Gabby Chavez did jump into a midget. And he's like 4 foot tall anyway, so I mean, that was just a bad joke right there. But yeah, he did run a midget. I think Will Power did some dirt oval stuff back, like way back when in Australia, but I don't think he was like super into that. But yeah, it is definitely a rarity, and we have got a slick going on here. That should be fun. Everybody just gonna ride up top for what's probably gonna be, which means yay passing, right guys? What happened this time? I missed it again. Lamau. Some guy decided to run the middle of the track in the corner exit, gave us some damage, and then some guy just drove straight through us. So, yeah, crappy race.
Slow car down low.
We probably should chuck one down in on the low line, see what happens. Yes.
Slow car down low. Car stop down low. Car stop down low. Slow car ahead. Slow car up high. Go low.
The crash physics combined with the net code there. He's like wrecking, rolling, spinning. Then all of a sudden, nope, he's good. And then nope, he's not good. Good old iRacing crash physics. So, oh man, I kind of feel like not qualifying at all and just starting at the back. But this race is only 20 laps long, so it's really short. So I think it's one of those things where you just kind of have to qualify, because otherwise you don't have enough time, especially with the track the way it is, because I do think it's probably going to be quite the one-line affair. When it's one line, it's obviously difficult to pass because you can't go anywhere else.
One more lap.
Nope. This ain't gonna be a good lap. Well, we're gonna be starting towards the back anyways, guys, because
Alright, there's the
that's
checkered
what I do,
flag.
yo. Okay, tires are solid. Just had to check. Had to check tires are solid. Sometimes they're not, you know, because reasons. It's verifying the structural integrity. If we go high here, we're in the fence. I mean, there's not really a higher than the higher, you know. I'll say though, the sprint cars are cool. Always improve the sprint cars. You can never go wrong with them. I mean, they just look totally ridiculous. They're totally antiquated in so many ways, but that's what makes it fun. You know, the funny thing is, you get these people who are like on the road racing side of things, the elitists, the oh well, it isn't like it used to be, and then you give them something that's like this, where it's basically like the same car that it's been since like 1950 for crying out loud, and they're like, well, there's no technology. And I'm like, what do you want? You can't have both at the same time. Of course, most of those people are also the type of people who would complain that, oh my goodness, you're turning
Line
left.
up on the inside. Pit road is
I
closed.
can't handle a race where you just turn left. .410 wingless at Bristol. Yeah. Good luck not dying here in iRacing. I mean, it'd be possible, but I mean, you just add in your average iRacer into a 410 wingless at Bristol, you're gonna have death all around. It's not the technology, it's how the fuck do you not die? You know, Adam, the funny thing is, people complain that, you know, modern road courses are so terrible with all the runoff room, and it's just, you know, so safe and everything, and the drivers all just, you know, they play just like a video game, you know, they have no respect and all this stuff, and they're not really manly man drivers. Hey, what do you got here? I guarantee you won't see Lewis Hamilton strapping into a sprint car anytime soon. I'd actually love to see that. Like, they should seriously have the Race of Champions needs to like actually be something awesome, and put F1 guys in sprint cars, put the NASCAR guys in the F1 cars. Do that rather than like these random just cars. And plus, then we'll hopefully never have to hear people be all like, oh, Carl Edwards is a great driver. He beat Michael Schumacher at the Race of Champions. So therefore, he's like really good. That's how good the NASCAR guys are. They beat Michael Schumacher. Although, thankfully, with Carl Edwards now retired, we don't have to see that all too often.
Green, green, green. Car outside, still there. Clear.
No, tire! Remember, tires are solid.
Car stopped up high, clear outside. Car outside, go low, go low.
Woo!
Go low.
Crunch!
Stay low. There's a car on the
Someone
high
just
side.
crunchitized them, Captain.
Car stop, down low. Car stop, down low. Low car, up high. Outside. Clear outside. Outside, clear.
Alrighty. Oh no.
Low, go
Woo!
low. Outside, clear.
There we go. Nailed it.
You're in fifth. Car outside. Stay low.
Nailed it.
Clear outside.
That was one of those wrecks where you see it happening in advance,
Outside.
and you're just like, alright, It's on.
Outside.
You just let them wreck themselves.
Outside. Clear outside. Car outside. Clear outside.
Woo!
Outside.
It's a little too
Clear
close.
Outside. Outside. Slow car down low. Clear.
This racing's actually been really good.
Outside. Clear outside.
Actually pretty surprised the racing's been this good. Oh, come on.
Car outside.
Big old glob right in the middle of your face.
Clear. Car outside. Clear. Look car up high. Car stopped up high. Go low.
I think someone just got disqualified. No!
Clear outside. Outside.
Alright, we need the high line here. This low line just not gonna work out here. Alright, there we go. Try and get the drive off.
You got 10 laps to go.
Woo!
Inside. Clear inside. Inside.
Pretty sure I just bumped Anthony there.
What the hell you're doing? Like, seriously, man. I mean, what the hell?
Go high.
I don't know. He was a little sideways there, and we kind
I
of.
don't get why people stay on the track when they're just flipped over. Get off the track.
I mean, we were racing side by side for fourth place, and you hunk a high side for no reason. You come out of the pit 3 laps down.
Oh.
You wreck 3 cars on lap 2. I mean, that's just a disgrace, man. Just a disgrace.
Phew! Thought that was on me. Whoa! So I definitely feel like I finished him off there. No!
Slow car down low.
And these things are so slow, we still got like 5 laps left.
You've got 5 laps to go.
I feel like this race has been going on for like ever here. There we go. The drive of these cars though, even the 305, like, it just takes so much concentration that, you know, even a short little race like this
Car outside. Stay low. Clear outside.
just feels like it goes on for so long because you're just concentrating that much. I don't know what happened there.
You're back in 4th position. You just got the white flag. That means 1 more lap to go.
We are a danger to everyone. Oh, that was a pretty fun little race there.
There's the flag. It's over.
Where's
Great
the
job.
pit
You
entrance?
did really well.
No one knows where the pit entrance is here. It doesn't exist. So that was pretty fun. We survived. Should get some positive iRating out of the whole ordeal. So let's see here. What a joke, he says. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of Rubbin's racing there, you know? It's short track racing, you know? You can cut in like that when there's a car there already committed into a line sliding. I mean, Robin's racing. Robin's racing. Not like I intentionally punted the guy out of the way, for crying out loud. But, yeah, that's that. Oh, yeah, let's go back and take a look at one with Anthony here. Yeah. I probably could have dodged him, but in these cars, once you're going a direction, you're going a direction. If you are unfamiliar with these cars, really, once you're committed, you're just kind of along for the ride, and you can't change your direction all that well. Especially in this position, because if I turn more to the right, we're going into the wall very quickly, very, very quickly. So we just got two sideways, and we tag them there. But we definitely finished it off, so I'll take the blame on that one. And then that guy, I mean, he was done in already anyways. You know, I mean, get him out of here. But, anyways, that's, that was a race right there. So let's check the last session's results, and yay, we're up to 1630 dirt iRating, and we're at a Class A 1.53. We lost 0.56 iRatings right there, or safety ratings. We are a danger to everyone. No, Michael, we did not finish the IndyCar race. Some guy decided he wanted to run the middle of the corner, exiting the corner when he was on the high line, and then some guy just drove right through me on entry to turn 1. It was not pretty. Not pretty at all. Yeah, you guys in the friggin' road racing. Road racing, for me, does not work on a single screen anymore. Like, competitively. Like, it just not happening, not doing it. It's so goofy, because you have to get used to it again after coming from VR, and just, I'm not going to be able to do it on stream here, so, yeah. But, ooh, we got 360 dirt sprint cars at Volusia coming up at 10:30. But, yeah. There's nothing interesting to race. Nothing exciting coming up here. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. And, yeah. Okay, Houndstooth Life. You have been noticed. I don't know what a senpai is, though, but, you've been noticed. So, yeah, that's that. Anyways, we'll do the same thing again next week. Let me check the schedule here, see where we'll be at for the Indy cars, because obviously this is primarily an IndyCar stream, but, you know, when you get into races like I've been having here, yeah, sometimes it's no longer an IndyCar stream. So anyways, the schedule for next week, the track we will be racing at, yes! Iowa Speedway, yeah! So, get hyped for that one. I'm certainly hyped for that one. So, next week, same time, same place, about 9 o'clock Central Time. And, we'll be racing at Iowa Speedway once again. And, anyways, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.